guys. So today we are going to see what is abstraction in this particular course content. So we are going to cover this particular topic into four modules. First one is definition. Then we will see the types of abstraction, and for that we will see when to use what, which particular type should be used in which particular conditions. Then we will see points to remember. In this section we will see various points that we always that as an developer we should always remember while implementing this logic. Then at the end we will see the real world example how this particular abstraction topic is going to be implemented in real world. So let's directly go to the first part, that's definition. So if we go with the definition, then abstraction is a process of hiding the implementation details from the user. Only the functionality will be provided to the user. Now currently what you will be thinking of this definition is a little bit tough. I think it's not very much clear to you guys. So what I would suggest is just to hold on and ignore this particular line as of now. We will come back to this point again. Prior to going ahead, let's check or let's see what are the types of abstraction, how we can achieve abstraction in Java. So first way is to use abstract class, and second one is to use interface. So abstract class will be like this: abstract class A. This will be the syntax of creating your abstract class, and in which you can have a non-abstract method, obviously, like the public void method we are having, like ABC method, and you are going to have some code over here. Then you are going to have the public abstract method. So this is the abstract method which is not having any definition as of now, this XYZ method. Now here we are achieving the abstraction by implementing a class B which is extending class A, and A here is obviously abstract. Okay, and here we are overriding this XYZ over to your class B, and you will override the logic and you will write your own logic over here. The same kind of thing can be achieved by interface as well. So let's say we have an interface C which is having a public method like PQR. That particular method is an abstract method. So in this class D we are going to implement that method like this. So you are going to override that PQR method into your code. So in this way you are going to use abstraction. Now coming to the next point, when to use what. So abstract class, by looking at this example, it's very much clear that abstract class is used when you know something and rely on others for what you don't know. In our case, we know something in our abstract class, that is ABC method. We have some definition, we know something over there, that's why we are writing the code. But for XYZ we don't know what should be the implementation, therefore we are relying on class B for the implementation. Similarly, if we talk about under this particular section when to use what, if we talk about interface, then interface should be used when you want to define a contract and you don't know anything about the implementation. Same here in interface C, we don't know about the implementation, but in class D you have the actual implementation knowledge. Now coming back to the definition now. So let's try to understand this with the help of an example. Let's say you have an interface as in bank which is having a abstract method get interest. Let's say you are having a class SBI which is implementing bank. Similarly, you will have here you are overriding the get interest method which is finally returning you a particular integer value. In the similar fashion, we are having a class HDFC which is implementing again the bank interface which will override this particular method and which is going to return you a different kind of integer value. Now coming to the definition part, abstraction is a process of hiding the implementation details from user. So what does this line means? Let's say you have some another class which is named over here as some class to save interest in database. So let's say this particular class will behave in a manner that it will have a method like save interest to DB with a parameter named as bank, and the role of this particular method will be to save the interest to the database. So what you will do is you will, from using the bank object, you will get the interest rate, and then you will actually insert it to the database. But now the main point comes over here is this some class to save interest in database. This particular class is not aware about the actual implementation. The actual implementation is hidden behind the scene. Okay, so if someone is calling this save interest to db method, if someone is calling this particular method save interest to db, then using this particular bank type of object, so here the implementation is going to be hidden. Okay, so that's the main purpose of this or that this is the main example I can say which describes this process. Okay, next let's go to points to remember section. So under points to remember, first one is we can have implementation method in abstract classes but not in interface. But from Java 8 this particular point is not very much valid, but let's say we are talking till Java 7 as of now. So this is the example. In abstract class we can have the implementation like here we are having for ABC but not for XYZ. Similarly if you are going to write code in interface, then you are going to get compile time error. That abstract methods do not specify a body because you can't have a non-abstract method in interface. Second point is let's say we are having a logic in which class B is extending abstract class A and giving the implementation of XYZ. Okay, and then class D is implementing let's say again we have the same kind of logic. Class D is implementing interface C and giving the implementation of method PQR. Okay, so this is a way in which you can actually uh, I can say actually extend or implement the abstract or interface class respectively. So let's say if you want to have the logic for, or I can say if you are using abstract class, so in that scenario you have to use this extends keyword. Okay, but let's say if you are using interface, then in that scenario you will have to use the implements keyword. Okay, going to the next point. So the next point says if a class is using an abstract method, it must be declared abstract. But vice versa is not true. That is, if a class is abstract, then it is not necessary to have abstract methods in it. So let's try to understand it with the example. Let's say if you are having a class A with some kind of public method, and let's say if you are declaring this, if you are declaring a new method xyz as an abstract, then you will get an error that this particular class A is not abstract and you can't define an abstract method in a non-abstract class. Okay, so what now we are doing is we are trying to understand this vice versa condition. You are having a class A as an abstract and you are having two non-abstract methods. This code will work fine, you won't get any error over here. Next point comes is we cannot create object or instance of an abstract class. So let's say we are having an abstract class A with public void method and one public abstract method xyz. So you can't create an instance of it. Let's say if you are having a class C, different class with public static void main, and you are trying to initiate the variable A of type A using new A, so you will get the compile time error that you cannot instantiate the type A because we cannot create an object of abstract class. Now the best part of this session is the real world example. So let's say if we have a class, abstract classes in PUBG. So PUBG is a very popular game, we know. Now you are going to have some fixed or predefined methods which will behave same for each implementation classes or each child classes. So here in our case, restore health, let's say if you are applying a medikit, so your increase is going to be your health is going to be increased by 80%. Let's say in any particular implementation, maybe like its mobile device or its Xbox, if someone hit you by the AKM, then the damage will be 20% with one bullet. Damage by AOM will be 100%. So these are the three methods which are going to behave same whether you play PUBG on your mobile or whether you play PUBG on the Xbox system or on the laptop system. but the vehicle driving control method will not behave same. It will be different for each and every scenario. For mobile it will be different control system, for Xbox it will be different system, and for laptop it will be different system. So now let's say how practically we have implemented this. We have two classes, two child classes we can say. One is the PUBG and second one is the one is PUBG mobile and second one is the PUBG Xbox. Both are using this extend keyword because we have the abstract class as we just saw in the previous slide. Now coming back to this example, what we are going to do is we are overriding the vehicle driving control method over here, and we are giving our own implementation that should be followed in the PUBG mobile application. Then we are again overriding the vehicle driving control, and if and we are providing our own implementation over here. The most important point over here is if we are extending something over here as well, then we must override, else we are going to get the compile time error. You will have to override this particular method in your case. Okay, so this is all what we had in the abstraction. For any issues or concerns, please let me know. Thank you all.